Hello, besties. If you are new here, let me introduce myself first. The people have spoken that my username is pronounced as Artseal.
I believe the children are our.
But you can also call me Sai. I am a self-taught artist. I mainly paint digitally, but I also dabble in acrylic paint, clay sculpting, and sometimes 3D. But this year, I'd like to try other mediums and document my process more, and hopefully, you guys here enjoy my new video era. So, for this video, I'm going to do some studies while I answer some art questions that I gathered from Instagram and Patreon, which, if you guys aren't a member yet, I have different tiers, and you can also join as a free member. I gift memberships monthly, and there are a lot of other perks that you might enjoy, so maybe you can pay some visit and support your girl. Maybe. But I digress. Let's get on with the video. First question, warm colors or cooler colors? I have always been a warm girl through and through. I think it matches my art style really well. I love painting nostalgic stuff. So I think warm colors really fit this style, like the afternoon golden hour type of colors. I really love that. Your video editing process. So first, as for the program, I really don't have like one specific program that I use, because I'm still like a very much newbie when it comes to this type of thing. I mainly use this app called VLLO. I don't know how to pronounce it. For like the basic stuff like cutting clips, doing voiceovers. I want to learn more professional ones in the future though. But for the actual process, I record the painting process first, like this one here. And then I do the voiceover. And then I cut the clips. I edit it. Add cute effects, sounds, captions, and filters. How do you achieve these color palettes? So I feel like my art is 50% about the colors. I am very much aware of them. It's very important for me that the colors are cohesive with what I'm painting and what I want to show. Like for example, the lyrics are very cute, loving, happy. For those, I tend to use more of what I perceive as happier colors like yellow and pink. And on the other hand, I associate cooler tones as more sad colors like blue and violet. I also take inspiration from my favorite movie scenes, like the reel that I just did. It was inspired by Wong Kar-wai movies, lots of red, lots of green for the overall nostalgia, very alienation kind of a feel. What is the process of making your prints? I love them. Thank you, bestie. The ones that I give out every month, I outsource them from my local print shop, but the ones from my store, I make at home. I have a Canon Pixma Pro 100 printer, which have been my printer BFF for so long. It's such a great investment for me. I think I spent like $1,000 for it, but I have been using it for like 5+ years now. And then I also use Canson etching rack papers, and I make sure that it's 300 plus GSM because I want my prints thick and textured. Could you explain the process of working with vendors to make things that you design, like notebooks and puzzle? Are there limitations to what you can put on a notebook and stuff? By the way, I love the fishman. Thank you, bestie. People have messaged me over that fishman. I also love that. I use it every day. So, about your question, this one is usually super simple for me. because I look specifically for product manufacturers with websites where you can just get a template from them, upload your design, and they give you a proof, and then you approve it and they produce it. I know a lot of artists use Alibaba to find vendors, but I have never really used it for several reasons. One is that usually they will have a minimum order quantity. Sometimes you have to buy 100 plus from them, and in addition to that, you will have to pay the shipping fee from China. And no one really needs all that when I only need like a maximum 50 pieces per month. So I usually try to find manufacturers from the US. So that's 99% of my product making, but there are times when it's a large and more expensive order, like the puzzle. I had to ask a physical sample for that since I have never really made one before, and it's my first time working with this manufacturer, so I had to make sure that the quality is good. So the sample product is usually more expensive, but it's super worth it in some cases, like again, the puzzle, the tote bags, notebooks, because you would prefer spending like $50 on one sample item than risking the quality of your whole order where you could spend and risk hundreds and thousands. And as for the limitations, I haven't really encountered any vendor with a design limitation, but if you have a super complicated design you want to work with this manufacturer, make sure you have a direct contact with them. Like, for example, again with my puzzle, I submitted my design and I talked to vendors through email. So if I have questions about it or want anything altered, I can just email them directly. So make sure you have that contact. How often do you practice and what do your warm ups look like if or when you do them? Okay, I know it's bad. I need this for my hand health and it could greatly benefit my art. That's why I actually want to start doing it, I promise, but I don't really do warm ups. I usually go straight to painting. I'm sorry for that lackluster response for that, but yeah. How do you make time to do so much art like I barely get to draw or paint every once in a while? Okay, so for this one, I have a very meaningful response, and I think it's because of two reasons. I quote unquote train myself to be like this, and it's also my career now. So, first, I think I kinda trained myself in some way because when I started my art account, coming from the Philippines, I wasn't really exposed to this art world. I had no idea about how big it is. I didn't even know about commissions and online shops. So I really just treated it as a gallery for my art experiments. So I did that for a couple of years before I go serious with making art. And I think I carried this trait of like, no matter what art I make, even if it's a new art style or if it's weird and ugly, I'll still post it. So I just create and it stacks up. And for the second reason how I make time to do so much art is because, drumroll, I'm doing art full time since last year. Yay! Clap clap! So I am very privileged to have all this time to create art. Plus, I also now have to look at it from a business standpoint, obviously. So I'm really trying to discipline myself and plan things accordingly. Like I plan painting days, clay sculpting days, editing days. So I pretty much just organize it now so I can put out 3 posts a week. How extensive are your sketches? I don't really put much effort into sketches, and I usually do it for like my super original ones, like those where I don't need much reference pictures. But my sketches are usually just a guide to where I will put things, just a composition guide basically. And then I always just straight up go to painting. What are all the art media types you've explored so far, and which one did you like the most? So, when I started this as a hobby, I was exploring so much mediums. I went on Hinge. I started with this Walmart paint that I forgot the name. Is it temper paint? I can't remember, but I put it on the screen. And then I tried watercolor, oil paint, pencils. I even did physical collages. I cut out magazines. And then I was able to buy an iPad, so I started digital painting, but I was also doing acrylic painting at the same time. Then I'm also trying clay sculpting now and 3D from time to time. And my favorites are definitely acrylic and digital painting. Acrylic because I love how fast it dries and it's also so much cheaper than oil. And digital because of how convenient it is. I can literally make art everywhere. So, yeah, those are my favorites. Is there any other job you thought or think you would be doing right now if it wasn't art? So, back in the Philippines, I had a little background in computer engineering, but before I discovered my love for art, I literally had no life plan. Like, I didn't have any money or means to try new things that could spark any passion. So maybe I would have just continued doing computer or math related stuff. But fortunately, the heavens blessed me with art, and I'm really forever grateful for everyone who's supporting me with this. It's really life changing. Really, really life changing. How are you so consistent on social media? Scheduling really is the magic, it's the answer to it all. I always try to plan stuff and post 3 days a week. And now that I do art full time, I'm able to stack up artworks and videos, so it's much easier to post now. But of course, I'm not always feeling 100% creative all the time, so whenever I need a little break, I just either post filler stuff like work in progress or process reels, and if I'm really out of it, I just repost old stuff. And also the trick is you can really get creative with the videos you take. Like for example, a video process like this, I can get the finished painting of it, a process reel, I can take b-rolls from this and add it with other b-rolls and do some trending edits. And I can also use the longer videos to post on Patreon and here on YouTube. So just only from that video process recording, I am already able to stack up like 4 things to post. It really took me a long time, and I think I'm still in the process of loving this business and strategic side of art, but my love for art just keeps growing and growing. So of course I also have to adjust the work that I put into it. So I'm embracing it for now, embracing the connection of social media and my art. Where do you find most of your inspiration, and how do you avoid art block or burnout? My inspirations usually come from other media. I really, really love looking at compositions, colors, the shots in movies or shows that I watch, and of course, music. For example, my latest animation stuff, I took inspiration from, as I said earlier, Wong Kar-wai color palettes and the shots from movies like The Worst Person in the World and Past Lives. And I also take inspiration from personal experiences and memories. I really love dedicating a painting to people I know, and then I paint all the things they love around them and the things that remind me of them, sort of a collage of this person. After all, we are a mosaic of the things we love, so I really embody that with some of my paintings. And to answer how to avoid art block, especially now that I do it full time, I am very prone to this. So I purposely schedule. I purposely schedule and give myself breaks where it doesn't involve me making art. Like, I watch movies, I try new recipes to cook, I play video games, I also just started running again. I also read books or just hang out with friends and family, just anything that's not related to my work. And I usually do it for a couple of days a month, and it actually resets my system. And then after some time, I start missing making art and I come back more excited to create. And that's all the questions for now. If you guys have more, please leave some comments and maybe I can make a part 2. Or if you have other video tutorial suggestions. I'm planning on making more video content this year here on YouTube and on Patreon, so please leave a comment. Thank you, besties, for taking your time and watching my first real video here. And of course, shout out to my Patreon besties. I'm forever grateful to you guys. You guys know that. I say thank you every month, every post. Thank you. If you guys want to watch the full length of this video, or you just want to support me, or you also want access to hundreds of posts including my digital brushes, my paper overlays, and the other tutorials I have there, the link to my Patreon is down below in the description. So thank you guys. That's it. I'll see you in the next one. Love you. Bye.